Haribol, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live discussion. Our conversation tonight is going to be about His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. I will tell a little story about him, a little pastime, and we will be doing this every week on Facebook. I'm joined here tonight with our team, my team, and we have Kishirani and Leela and Anna, and we're all, so happy to be here, and especially because we're sharing tonight about His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's. This is his 70th year. Of course, we know that he left the planet in 2005. However, he would have been 70 years this year in 2020. So by his grace, we are endeavoring to carry on his messages and his teachings. So I am most grateful. Ekavira Prabhu and myself, we're both so grateful. He's not here tonight, however, he'll be with us next week. And we just want to share as whatever we can remember about our time, the times that we had with Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, our guru, our spiritual master. And so tonight I was inspired to share something about my Guru Maharaj and his mother. I don't know why that inspiration came to me today. I was thinking, what kind of pastime can I start to talk about? Because we did do a series before where we talked some pastimes of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. However, today during the day, I just kept seeing my Guru Maharaj's mother, her smile. And I thought, okay, let's share something about Mother Perline, who Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj was so very close to. He had such a relationship with his mother. And so I remember the first time that I was privileged to meet his mother in Cleveland, Ohio. And he took a group of devotees, a group of us, to visit his mother. And when we went to his mother's apartment, I so much remember that experience, how his mom was just so happy to meet us. And she brought out all of these albums that she had been saving, I guess, for years. And she showed us all these albums about our Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Tirtha Swami, when he was a young boy. And so I didn't know some of these pastimes about him as a young person. And so his mom, she just shared all these beautiful, wonderful pastimes of how when he was a young kid, his mom would send him to Sunday school every Sunday morning. And my Guru Maharaj tells the story that his Sunday school teacher would always call on him to share, one of the stories from the Bible. And he was always so eager to do that. His mom said that from 7 or 8 years old, he always liked to tell the stories, about God from the Bible. And of course, she had pictures to show us of him being in the church at that time. And she also would shared with us how when my Guru Maharaj was in high school, that he was a wrestler. He used to wrestle as a pastime. That was a sport that he was engaged in. And she would show us the pictures of him wrestling, having wrestling matches. And apparently he was very good at that sport. So I learned a lot about my spiritual master growing up. And he was raised by a single mom. His mom, at that time, she was not married. She had been married, but then she wasn't married. and she had two boys, John and his brother, and she also had four girls. So altogether, she had 6 children. And Mother Pearline would tell us also stories of how Bernadette, that was his youngest sister. My Guru Maharaj was the youngest in the family. Bernadette was the youngest girl, and she was older than my Gurudev. And so my Guru Maharaj always used to say, and he would say this very jokingly, Bernadette used to beat me up. She always used to beat me up. And so we always knew that about Bernadette, you know. However, we never met Bernadette, and we didn't really know much about her, except that she used to beat up our Guru Maharaj as a young child. So when we went to see his mom, to visit his mom, then his mom, Bernadette wasn't there at the time. I did get to meet her a little later, but she had all these pictures of them as children growing up. And so what I wanted to do tonight was just to share something that my Guru Maharaj wrote from the Beggar 4 before he left his body, before he left us on the planet. And this is one of his meditations that was dedicated to mothers. And so because today I was thinking so much about the relationship that he had with his mother, I thought that it would be nice for us to kind of connect deeper with this meditation. I also remember that whenever my Guru Maharaj would have programs, especially in Cleveland, but also in Washington, D.C., whenever his mother came, he would have us set up an asana for her. And so she was always the Queen Mother. And so we always knew that whatever we set for our Guru Maharaj to speak, to sit on, we would make the same thing, the same kind of seat for his mother, because he always would say to us that his mother was his first guru. He would tell us like that. And he would share with us that when his mother came in public with him, he wanted his mother to be acknowledged and appreciated for of course, him being the son of his mother. So that was our experience. Whenever Mother Pearline was coming, we would just all get so excited because she was like a queen. She dressed like amazing, you know, just someone that was, she was older, of course, she's his mom. At the same time, she was always very conscious of being elegant. So she always looked so elegant whenever she came. And it was just such a joy to see her and her son interacting with each other in public environments. So I just share this little meditation, and this was the mood when he was leaving his body. The name of the meditation is Mother Watches with Great Concern as We Misuse Our Free Will. So this is an interesting meditation because you'll see he's kind of going in, back and forth with an understanding, a principle that's very important for spiritual people. He said, mothers are very special, for they are nurturers, comforters, and facilitators. They have special relationships with their sons, just as fathers have special relationships with their daughters. The Vedas explain that mothers normally make a greater impact on the personality of the son, and the father a greater impact on the daughter. There are a lot of mothers in pain due to their own son or someone else's son who has put them in anxiety. The wife who is battered by her husband is suffering at the hands of someone's son. Her own son, who gets angry so fast and resorts to violence repeatedly puts her and others in great anxiety. So I just keep reading a little more about this. In spite of these tremendous difficulties, the mother prays for everyone's well-being. There is a mother out there whose son has been sent to prison. When she goes to visit him and talks to him through the barrier, she cries due to the pain she feels as she studies his predicament. She wonders how he could abuse his free will to such an extent. There is a mother out there whose son received great affection and attention throughout his life. As he got older, she was excited to watch him mature. However, after he entered adolescence, his entire personality changed. He started coming home intoxicated, hiding what he was doing and what was happening to him. Later, he did not even seem to care if she noticed his intoxicated state. She wonders how her son could abuse his free will to such an extent. There is a mother out there whose son has estranged himself from his family. He's constantly rushing off to join his friends and go to all kinds of events. Even when he agrees to come home for a meal, he rarely follows through. It is as if he purposely avoids associating with his family members. Whenever the family sits at the table to eat, his seat remains vacant. Even when he joins on those rare occasions, he leaves only after a few minutes or comes at the end of the meal. The family members, especially his mother, so much want to include himself in family affairs. She wonders how her son could abuse his free will to such an extent. So I'm not going to read the whole of this meditation, but I remember when he wrote this meditation, we were in Hawaii. And this is, as I said, from his book, Beggar 4, when he was leaving his body. And I remember the day that he decided that when he was going to write, that day when he wrote this particular meditation. And he told us he wanted to be taken down to the ocean. We were living in a house that was right near the ocean. He wanted to be taken down to the ocean, and he wanted a chair to sit in so that he could look at the ocean. And so Ekivira Prabhu went and set everything up for him, and Ekivira took him down to this spot. And he said, today, I want to write something about men to help them to get closer to their mothers. And so that was this meditation that he wrote. And we remember he was down there for a few hours. And then when he called Ekivira Prabhu to come get him, he was really smiling and very happy. And he said, my mother inspired me to complete this meditation. And so this meditation is in that book, Meditation 8. And if you get a chance, please read that meditation, and especially read it to your young boy or your brother or your husband or your friend, because this meditation he wrote specifically to help men to understand more about their mothers. And ultimately, as you read the meditation, you will learn that he's also talking about the Divine Mother, our ultimate mother. So maybe, as you read that, I think you'll really enjoy hearing about the mothers that are given to us that give birth to us on this planet, and also our ultimate spiritual mother, and what's that connection. So thank you so much. Kishore did. So Kishore, you're online, and I wanted to hear from you about, this meditation. I don't know if you've ever read that meditation, and so it'd be nice to hear what you have to say about that.
Thank you very much. It's really inspiring. It's even more inspiring to hear the story, how it was wrote, this meditation. I never read it, but I definitely will find it and read it fully. And now I even more inspired knowing the story, how it was wrote, and a little bit more about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj's mother. Thank you very much. It's touched me
Yeah. Thanks. Her name was Mother Perline.
Mother Perline.
Yeah. Mother Perline. And Leela, I know you have such a relationship with your mother, and I know you have a brother also. And I was thinking, like when you heard that meditation, and you think about your brother and his relationship with his mom, with your mom, did that, was there anything that came up for you hearing just a part of the meditation?
Thank you so much, Vrajalila. I did actually think of my brother. He has a nice relationship with her. They take care of each other in such a sweet way. And what really struck me from hearing this was, Bhakti Tirtha Swami was teaching by example. So I can only imagine, you didn't at any time say that he told people how to treat their mothers, but he gave that example in how he treated his mother. And I can only imagine the men that were around him who would watch that and just see what he was doing, and imagining that he also helped them develop that relationship with their mothers, and at least offer that respect. It was really beautiful to hear that. And I actually thought when you said that sharing it with someone, I thought I would share it with my brother. So I think I'll send it to him for sure.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. This is a series that we're going to be doing, and we'll be talking something about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj every week for his 70th appearance day. This is a simple offering from us, from Inter I Fast, in remembrance of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And we're a team here at Inter I Fast, and we're very much all of us are dedicated to remembering the messages that Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj left for us, and the examples, as Leela said, the examples that he left us. And this one example of his mother was so incredible for me and for Ekavir and all of his disciples, and for anyone in the world that can read and hear about the kind of relationship that they may have with their mother. Perhaps this meditation can help them to look deeper at that relationship. But thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Haribol.